Okay, this is the newest entry-level wireless smartphone head unit by Pioneer, the DMH-W3000NEX. We'll do a quick unboxing, a full demo, and go over our pros and cons list. So if you've been looking at this radio as a possibility for your vehicle, then look no further. You have stumbled on the right video, so hang out. Hey, what's up? Josh here from Breaker Stereo and Performance. Welcome to our channel that reviews all the best in car audio, performance, suspension, and more. Because we don't drive stock. And if you're like us, where stock just doesn't cut it, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Okay, so let's jump right in. Now, the suggested retail price is $500, but MAP is only $399. All right, Breaker's breakdown, subject, MAP pricing versus suggested retail. Now, MAP stands for minimum advertised price. Now, authorized dealers on or offline cannot advertise below this set price. Dealers sign agreements not to violate this policy, and if they risk it and sell below MAP and get caught, dealers can get cut off. So manufacturers will not sell to them any longer. Now, compare that against suggested retail price, which is just that, suggested retail price. Now, this pricing accounts for more overhead costs that your local car audio shop has to account for versus online stores that just move boxes. When it comes to head units, margin is extremely low versus other products. And since this category is dying, manufacturers are doing all they can to push more units out there by reducing the cost, which is good for you guys. But it's simple supply and demand. When demand is low and supply is high, that will cause prices to go down. Okay, let's get back into it. Now, this head unit is a 6.8-inch screen, 800 by 480. And unlike its predecessor, it's actually a single DIN chassis. But don't worry, this will fit in vehicles that are standard double DIN. This has wired and of course wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, built-in Bluetooth 5.3 with dual mode. Now, the power output is listed at 50 watts times 4 peak, 14 watts times 4 RMS in accordance with the CTA 2006 or CEA 2006 standard. And to make it more confusing, Pioneer lists this as 22 watts times 4 continuous. Now, this head unit has all the NEX software and features, including a 13-band EQ, switchable built-in crossovers, standard or three-way network mode, and time alignment. Expandability includes Series XM ready, tuner sold separately, steering wheel control ready, adapter sold separately, backup camera input, AV input, which you can also use as a front camera. And this has 6-channel 4-volt pre-outs. This will do audio and video playback on the USB. Okay, so let's do a super quick unboxing to see what it comes with, and then we'll get into the demo. All right, USB extension, steering wheel control plug, Series XM plug, auxiliary input plug. These are your pre-outs, front, rear, and sub. Again, 4-volt. You got your hardware for mounting, some sort of clips, I'm not 100% sure yet. Bluetooth microphone, and a pretty beefy GPS antenna. And then your owner's manual, and I'm sure the warranty card's in there too. Oh, and the harness. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, so as mentioned, they did change this a little bit. This is not a shallow double DIN any longer. As far as the mounting is concerned, or the chassis is concerned, it's a single DIN on the bottom, okay? All right, so let me take the front off of this really quick. Okay, for an entry-level radio, it's got a nice fit and feel. Not too bad, pretty heavy. All right, you have the buttons on the side that will light up when you turn this thing on. And then on the back, you have all your plugs here. Okay, all right, so let's light this thing up. Okay, so before we get started, I'm gonna hook up my CarPlay wirelessly. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my phone here, turn on my Bluetooth, find the device, hit pair, hit yes, hit allow, hit yes, use CarPlay, and that's it. So that's actually really, really simple. They've gotten this down. Finally, the first generation wireless CarPlay units and Android Autos were a nightmare to hook up. So this is super duper simple. Turn on Bluetooth, follow the prompts. That was about 5 seconds or so, maybe 10 at the most, but it's super duper easy to do. All right, so we're gonna go back into the Pioneer portion of it. Okay, we'll go into settings. We'll check out what we have. If you've had a Pioneer before in the past and you're familiar with the NEX software, this is the NEX software. All right, so you have your system settings here. You can scroll. I could tell you this, the chipset on this is not really quick. So as you can see, I'm scrolling and there is definitely a delay there. Keep in mind, it's a $400 wireless CarPlay unit. So let's not be too critical. All right, display settings, illumination. You can choose different colors here for the background and also for the buttons here on the side. Now you do have your volume here. Looks like you can go directly from CarPlay to the Pioneer partition from these buttons here. This will activate Siri, and then this is the back button. Okay. Audio and EQ settings, balance, fade, loudness, on or off, speaker level. Here you can choose the volume for each speaker. You can go into the positive and into the negative. Okay, as you can see, it's not responding that great. You kind of have to be exact. I'm not sure if there is a way to calibrate this. Okay, we'll find out here a little bit later. This allows you to set each individual speaker. All right, so you can also select listening position, the front left, and that will adjust those accordingly, as you can see. Front right, front focused, or all. Okay. Next, let's go to time alignment. All right, so if we select left, front, it does a preset. Instead of having to actually measure, you can just leave the preset, and if it sounds good, good to go. If you really want to get in there and actually measure, it allows you to do that as well, which I would recommend doing. It doesn't take that much effort to do so. If you're not familiar, basically what you're going to do is you're going to measure, let's say in this case, the front left, middle of that speaker to the headrest position, and then you do each speaker individually. You do have EQ. There's some presets there. That's the powerful. You got super bass, natural, vocal, and then you can also customize this as well. If you want to customize it, just choose a band and then move it up and down. Okay, chipset is definitely slow on this. I know I mentioned it before, but it's pretty obvious. Crossover, high pass, low pass. On your high pass, you can also choose the slope. Okay, you go 18 or 24. You go up from 12. You can also do 6 as well. For the crossover point, you would just move this here. So 25 up to 250, okay? All right, so you can do front, rear, and also has your subwoofer as well. Also phasing, 180 or 0. All right, subwoofer on or off, and then you have your Bluetooth settings are here, Wi-Fi settings, and then phone connectivity settings as well. So you can set your Android Auto here. All right, so let's get out of settings and let's go ahead and go into Apple CarPlay. All right, let's see how it responds here. So this is actually pretty good. This responds well. Music. So off of the Apple CarPlay, it does respond pretty well versus on the Pioneer partition portion of it. All right, so that's Waze, as you can see. Let's see if I go into like my Spotify. It responds well, so I'm happy with that. That's good. All right, let's go back to the Pioneer partition of it. You have your sources here. So you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, WebLink. So if you download WebLink, what that will allow you to do is mirror off of your phone, only on certain apps like YouTube, I know that for sure. But Netflix and Hulu, that's not gonna allow you to do that, okay? You have your phone, your connection, for your phone, the radio, USB. This does have Sirius XM capabilities, but you do need to buy the tuner. And then you have your auxiliary, your rear view camera. Okay, and then this is turns display on or off, source on or off, power off, and then into your settings. So that's pretty much it as far as the Pioneer partition is concerned. All right, pros and cons. Starting with the pros. Price point, wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, 4-volt pre-out, and all the NEX software. Cons, low resolution on the screen, and I personally don't like the buttons on the side. And of course, the delayed response on the touchscreen. Now, as mentioned previously, this radio lists on Pioneer's website for $500, but it's all over the web at MAP price at $399. And for that price, as a consumer, it is a decent value. Now, Pioneer has really undercut dealers like us because we make less than 25%, which is not enough to keep the lights on, pay employees, rent, insurance, and other things. So if you want this radio and are going to get it professionally installed, go to your local car audio shop and pay them to install it so they can make up some of that money. Okay, that's enough of the price frustration on my part. Given the $399 price tag, I'll give this radio a 4.5 star rating. You get wireless smartphone features, 4-volt pre-outs with the NEX software and interface. Great value for a good radio. Okay, that's gonna do it. My name is Josh, I'm with Breaker Stereo and Performance. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.